Okay, Algebra 2 skills number 45, function operations. So we're going to look at particularly the four functions with, or four operations rather, with functions, not composition. That'll be a different video. First of all, what is function notation? What's it good for? F of x is how you read this, and the purpose of it, and read there, is just show a correspondence between what went in and what went out. We could leave it y and just say y all the time, but then have to show an ordered pair that belongs to that function separately, and it gets a little awkward. But in this particular example, if you say f of 3 equals 5, then you know that if 3 goes into the function named f, then 5 is the result of that. So it puts the ordered pair 3, 5 and associates it with the function named f. So it's a convenient and efficient way of saying that. Some notation here, we read this f of x plus g of x. It could be written in either format as you see, and similar for each of the four major math functions. For division, we do specify, per usual, that the denominator cannot be 0. You cannot divide by 0. So we make sure that's mentioned anytime we mention divide. Some examples with color coding. F of x equals x minus 3. F is the most popular name for function because function starts with f, and g is the second most popular name for a function because it's just the next letter in the alphabet. So if we're adding these functions, you can see the color coding, we simply combine like terms. So nothing new there. 10 plus negative 3 is 7, and you just rearrange it in standard form. If you're subtracting functions, make sure that minus does distributes into the second function. So notice that positive 10 became negative. Again, you're just combining like terms. So nothing new there. In the event that you're multiplying, again, notice the notation. Just like before, you're distributing. X times x squared is x to the third. X times 10 is 10x. Negative 3 times x squared is negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times 10 is negative 30. And you just rearrange, okay, to get that cubic polynomial with four terms there. And if you're dividing, we're going to put g on top this time. You don't have to put f on top. F doesn't have to come first. You could do all kinds of things here. We'll let g be on top here. And this is a rational function where you can't really do anything. If you're working with rational functions, you would try to factor this and see if anything canceled, but this won't factor. But the reason we do this is for two reasons. Number one, to illustrate that sometimes when you divide functions, nothing happens, and that's okay. But also to remind you that we do want to specify that x cannot be 3. That would be an excluded value, because again, 3 would make the bottom 0. Okay, so that's function notation and simple operations with functions.